Got it. And I see myself. Let me mute. Guys, we got Idris here. Um, so we're going to go over the Rwanda Primate Experience itinerary. Again,
Sure.
let me share my screen. It's like, where's my presentation? Did I lose it? Wait just one moment.
Let me get my
Get in position.
pen.
Yes. Okay, hi everyone.
Yes.
We're here today, although we're 1 hour late, to talk about this wonderful experience. Cindy, the founder of Powder Puff Travels, and I have here Idris, who's the gorilla expert. Can I
Yeah.
call you the gorilla expert?
You could call me not they may think probably, when you say gorilla expert, it may go deep down into the ecology, the being a doctor or something like that. But generally, I'm more of a product manager when it comes to arranging gorilla trekking trips.
So he's the one who's making sure this, and I making sure this going to be amazing lifetime experience. And we aim to make sure it's the best trip you're going to have in 2024. This trip is in December. So you're going to end the year with fireworks.
Sure.
So, do you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay, we agree with that. So we're telling you, no matter where you go, we don't care. Well, Wanda Spirits gonna be the best for you.
Very sure.
So again, this Wanda Spirits is December the 3rd through the 9th, 2024. Okay, we're arriving. So I want to say this, especially for people who travel from the West. It says it starts on the 3rd, but your flight, keep in mind, your flight has to be December the 2nd to arrive December the 3rd. So coming from the West, your flights tend to be definitely 24 hours, and Rwanda is 8 hours ahead of us. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at flights. Do not put in December the 3rd. You want to ride December the 3rd. So you want to put December the 2nd. So that's something very important to keep in mind when you're searching for your flights. Okay, it's all about you. They arrive. What's the first thing they should expect when that plane lands?
Thank you so much, Cindy, for this awesome presentation, and to all our prospective guests that are looking forward to join on this amazing experience that will be taking on from the 3rd of December to the 9th of December. It's more of diving into the primates' home, where we're going to have to meet or to encounter the primates in their natural habitats. Of course, there will be a lot. There will be a lot of fun. There will be local interactions as well, because Rwanda is home of very friendly and warm people, with warm welcome, big smiles everywhere. So it combines all that. But as we go to look into the experience of guests arriving. For those that have been following us on, on this platform, we've always talked about the VIP meet and greet experience. And this is a fast track through immigrations and to the time you meet your driver guides outside the airport terminal. And it's extremely VVIP, but want to look at how to obtain visas. Recently, even the president, the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, announced that and everyone is free to come into Rwanda. All nationalities, they can obtain visas on arrival with no hassle. So you have.
So it don't matter what country they're coming from, they could. Okay.
Sure. So they only pay $50, and you're able to visit the country. And this is on arrival. You don't have to go through online applications. I know the online applications, sometimes are hectic. The servers are off, the system is not working. But here, it's a visa hassle-free arrangement. As you land, you have your VIP meet and greet, meaning people are there to guide you through immigration, probably go grab a coffee or juice in a VIP lounge, refresh yourself. Someone is there to collect the luggage tags from you and onwards to the visa counter, and then you get your stamp in, and then you pay $50 and you're out. About the required vaccinations, Rwanda, unlike other East African, Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, the yellow fever vaccination is not mandatory.
Is that mandatory?
Yeah, it's not mandatory. It is not mandatory, right? It's not mandatory, especially for visitors coming from, the less infested, countries. So it's not mandatory. It has been, for example, for Ugandans traveling to Rwanda, Tanzanians coming in, but for the guests coming from the less infested countries, this has not been the case. However, it is sometimes required, and majority of guests that probably come to East Africa, as you all know, some guests probably come to Rwanda and they end up going to Kenya, or probably crossing up into Uganda. Of course, they happen to get some of these vaccinations, but specifically for Rwanda, this is not mandatory. So we don't have more requirements in terms of vaccination, because the most recent, all COVID requirements were suspended. All of them. Not all, even when clients are going to track the primates. I think this was the last where people could have their PCR tests being submitted if you're going to track gorillas or chimpanzee. But as I speak to you now, all COVID test requirements were submitted, were probably suspended, were suspended. So literally we have less restrictions when it comes to guests traveling to remarkable Rwanda.
So is there any required vaccinations?
No, not even for the malaria thing. Probably someone would carry their anti-malaria tabs, but majority of these lodges, and if you look at our itinerary, my goodness, you cannot even have a mosquito at one and only. Not at all. So all we can say, not at all.
So in the forest, you're telling me in the forest, how about in the, because we're going through a rainforest.
Yes, I agree. But when you're getting to the forest, probably maybe we need uh, to look through some of the basic requirements, you know, that someone would be able to carry in what would call personal effects for that matter. You know, maybe some insect repellent lotions that you could probably put on your, you know, on your what? On your skin as you're, getting into the jungle, something like that. Otherwise, there's they we you shouldn't expect, mosquitoes to feed on you day and night. Absolutely no. Absolutely no.
And I'm shocked. Well, someone like me probably need definitely mosquito repellent because I get eaten up. My last trip, I think to Zanzibar, I was attacked. I
You
was
you
like,
had you
hmm,
had the mosquitoes in Zanzibar?
the mosquitoes. Well, even in Arusha, they attacked me. I came back with a lot of mosquito bites. And then I
Mm,
find out from someone that it was my blood type, possibly
mm,
why they thought I was a buffet. The mosquitoes did. So
yeah. So, but like I said, the properties that we're using, no.
no
So we should
mosquitoes.
get, yes. So when it gets to vaccination, unless someone is coming in and probably is going to visit any other, you know, more of the East African destinations. But for Rwanda's less vaccination restrictions, uh, that probably I would say this is very mandatory or something, this is also mandatory. No, no. So guess as long as you're energetic, this is something that I can say. Um, there is no required experience in terms of trekking chimpanzees or meeting the mountain gorillas. No, because all in all, the slowest tracker gives the group the pace,
Mm, mm,
right? So that is what I can say. The slowest tracker gives. In front of you, you've got a tracker, you've got a ranger, and behind the last tracker, after the last tracker, there is a ranger. So you see, so someone has to move. Someone shouldn't be worried saying, I'm slow, I may delay the entire group. Not really.
mm.
So I
So
can confirm to that.
so the speed
And
according to the last.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And the allocation these days, the driver guides can log in their, request to the park warden in charge. Say, I have these kind of guests. All they need is they need a medium trek. I think this is something that we looked at in our last presentation we had, that you could have the easy, you can have the medium, and probably the difficult, or call it the hard trek, And the easy, it's not a walk in the park per se that you're going to find the gorillas just right behind you, but slightly it's by 11 o'clock, midday, you should be out of the jungle. And the medium should be around 1 o'clock to 2, should be out of the jungle. And the hard, probably around 16 hours, you should be out of the jungle. You can make a special request. If we have clients that really feel they really need to immerse themselves in nature, and this is all what they want, then we can go for a hard. They feel the nature 100%.
I said, let's go for hard. No, I'm just kidding. Medium is great.
Yeah.
Definitely. And this would definitely be based on the people in the group overall. If the group is athletic, hey, we could go for hard. I mean, I would be the last one. I would be determining the speed because I'm out of shape. But definitely, this is about you guys and like I say, this is an amazing one in a lifetime experience. You just cannot land in Rwanda and say, hey, I'm going gorilla tracking. It's a possibility, it's a screen possibility you might not be able to. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So we've looked at those. Yes.
So next, the experience in Kigali, where they get the chance to see the Genocide Museum and then Fossa Museum.
Maybe something I can say about the Genocide Museum. Um, about it's making 30 years now,
30.
2024, and it happened 30, 20 years, I think 20 years, in 1920, 20 years, let's see, 1994. We are in 2024. That's
30
30.
years. Mhm.
Isn't it 30 years?
Mhm.
Mm? So it's
30.
an emotional experience, but it's a big highlight in this itinerary, you know. Of course, out of 10 guests that come into Rwanda, 9 end up in the to visit the genocide memorial to see what happened. But as the country, it has transformed, and this is the big story, because every year's theme is all about unity, renewing, and rebuilding Rwanda, you know. So it's a big highlight, I can say, that someone shouldn't miss, even when you have one day in Kigali to
And
check it out.
I want to emphasize this because sometimes people get things mixed up with the movie. Definitely check the movie out. But Rwanda is considered as one of the safest countries in Africa. So definitely don't get caught all up in the movie. And like he said, this happened 30 years, over 30 years ago, definitely. But Rwanda is considered one of the safest countries you could visit in Africa. And that's including Egypt and Morocco, because people exclude Egypt. They don't realize it's on a continent too. But yes.
So about the Diana Fosse Museum, right now we have the new Helen DeGeneres campus. So it is housing the Diana Fosse Museum. I think built a year or so back. It's very completed. It's very beautiful. It's all about mountain gorilla conservation. You know, you visit and then you learn the life of the mountain gorilla. You also learn the history of the Diana Fosse. Of course, there is a donation fee that helps in the conservation. So when you visit Dan Fosse, you directly contributing to mountain gorilla conservation. Even when you track mountain gorillas, you know why they put restricted number of people, but this should be visited 8 people per day, right? It's
Not
because,
discrimination. Yeah.
yes, this has to be, there's the conservation element.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it is all about conservation before money comes in. It is about conservation first.
Yeah, so I do want to emphasize this is definitely a small, intimate group. You're not going to be dealing with 20, definitely it's going to be left less than 10. So it's going to be a nice, intimate group, and you get a chance to bond with your fellow travelers and bond over the love of gorillas. So next, we talk about Volcano National Park. And you kind of touched the gorillas. And we also had the golden monkeys and the Aku tribe.
Ibiwachu, Ibiwachu culture. About the mountain gorillas, this is everyone's dream, I should say.
Mhm.
I should say. It's a premium experience, by the way. everyone would love to see mountain gorillas, probably before he goes to heaven, you know. It's a very amazing experience, especially when you get into the eye contact with these mountain gorillas. Of course, everyone would love to meet a family with probably more babies. And there is a gorilla boom, baby boom in the jungle. You know, after COVID, there are so many babies. And every year, remember, we've got the largest gorilla naming ceremony, the Quit Izina, you know. So trust me, as you're coming in 2024 December, this usually comes in September around there. So you'll have newborns, and probably it's a chance to meet some, could be a week baby, month baby, 2-month baby. You'll see them, and you can hear from your ranger guides. They have names. They have
Really?
names. Yes, they have names. Probably you'll be told this is the mother called so and so, and this is the dad, and the baby is this, and this is. They have names. That ceremony usually is a gorilla naming ceremony, so they give them names, and these names are meaningful, very meaningful, meaningful. So probably this is something that. And remember, in one of our itinerary section, I think we have meeting the gorilla doctors, right?
Yes,
Probably,
we do.
you know, yes. And this is the conversations that you'll probably be getting, you know, diving deep, because these doctors check on the mountain gorillas on a daily basis. On a daily basis, they have to
So
monitor their
excited
life.
about the, I'm so excited about the meeting with the doctors. I'm pretty sure probably at the end of the presentation, I'm gonna be ready to be a volunteer. A volunteer. I'm gonna be like, take me. I'm
Yes, so
a volunteer.
you're welcome to volunteer. So yeah, it's a very lovely experience, and within that session, there'll be a lot to learn. Feel free to have as many questions you may about mountain gorillas before meeting them, because entirely is to prepare you, and besides preparing you, but to dive so deep into the life of the mountain gorillas, because this is why you're meeting the doctors, you know, the gorilla doctor, and the conversation is very informative. It usually happens dinner time, so the doctor joins you on dinner, and it's a free conversation, but very meaningful regarding mountain gorilla conservations, understanding their life, all that stuff.
I'm excited about that part because I do have some questions. And how about those cute little golden monkeys? And we're doing this at,
Um,
yeah.
the golden monkeys are usually not so, they don't keep so deep in the jungle. They actually, you know, they are found at the forest edge in people's gardens. So the trekking is, you know, it's very easy. You get to finish the trekking of the golden monkeys, you know, early enough. But they are very lovely. You're watching them dashing from one tree to the other, you know, looking for food. You know, they are very super fast in, you know, movements, but watching and observing them and understanding their way of life in the jungle, it's also very, very amazing. So tracking the mountain gorillas and at the same time meeting the golden monkeys is an amazing experience. This is where the saying comes from, you know, meeting where volcano is a place where gold meets with silver. So gold, yeah, but entirely they are meaning mountain gorillas probably interacting with probably having a chance to see them in one place, which is Volcanoes National Park.
Mm.
And the Ibiwachu, it's a cultural experience. It's a more of a local local experience. The story behind this, this is a livelihood source of income to mountain gorilla ex-poachers. These are people who used to hunt down the mountain gorillas, but now they have learned the contribution of mountain gorillas, not only to the country, but to the community they live in. That aside, this is a place where the tourists would come and go through the local Rwandan experience, from knowing how, the traditions of Rwanda, understanding how the king used to live, demonstrating the marriage in Rwanda.
So guys, don't worry.
There's lots of amazing local experiences that guests are being taken. And so, yeah, it's a good combination of after meeting the primates, and probably you have to go through, is of course, dance is there, still it's local performance, and where you're part of it, you see, and some great singing. So to me, it's a very lovely experience to have in this itinerary. But ideally, you're directly contributing again to mountain gorilla conservation, because it is employment source to the ex-poachers of mountain gorilla.
So do we need to know how to dance when we go here?
Of course, after, hard adventure, and then you come in for a soft adventure, you're walking through the life of a local Rwandan, going through this bit of dancing here and there. That's pretty amazing. Oh, cool. So here, after the volcanoes, we'll drive to Nyungwe Forest for chimpanzee trekking and canopy walk. I've already said chimpanzee trekking requires an early rise, about 5 a.m. 5 a.m. it's daytime, in Rwanda. So you wake up that early, head to the park reception, probably for briefing, and then drive off to your trailhead. So it's an amazing experience to meet. Remember, you've met the mountain gorillas the days before, now you're meeting the chimpanzees. Now you can see the difference and you can relate, because I know some guests may not differentiate the mountain gorilla and the chimpanzee, right? But after seeing the mountain gorillas and you're coming in for the chimpanzee, that would be a very good story that you'll be able to tell back home, the differences between the two special primates. Of course, the chimpanzees are very fast. They also dash, super fast on trees from one branch to the other. They shout a lot, but they are communicating anyway. And by the time you end your chimpanzee, probably the rangers would have told you that you see a chimpanzee doing this, then it is meaning this. So ideally, chimpanzee meeting is awesome, and it may end probably close to midday or 1 o'clock, and you're out of the jungle, come back, refresh, have lunch, then probably the afternoon session we go for the canopy walk.
So I have a question for the chimpanzee trekking. Is it as strenuous as the mountain gorilla? I mean, would it be going up an elevation or no? Are they climbing up the mountain pretty much?
And not really. For mountain gorillas, of course, their home, it's the topography is mountainous, For chimpanzee, not really. So not as strenuous as the mountain gorillas, but remember, unless you go for the hard or probably in mountain gorillas, but easy, medium, not as strenuous as. So for chimpanzee, not as strenuous as mountain gorillas. The terrain, not as hilly as, and we have three communities. Of course, the semi-habituated happens in Gisovu. We'll not go to Gisovu. We'll either do Uinka and Chamdongo. These are very seamless communities to meet, probably with huge number of chimpanzees. And we'll ensure that maybe in our request to the park, we either look out for the most desired communities, Uinka or Chamdongo.
And also, let's go to the canopy walk.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we have a slight connection issue, so Idris will be back on just in a moment.
in East Africa, but
Yeah, I think you're going out a little bit, Idris. Oop. He just okay. Yeah, I think your connection went out, so no one heard you talk about the canopy walk.
okay. I was saying canopy walk is one of its kind in East Africa, hanging about 90 meters above. The most important thing here is to have the bird's eye view of Nyungwe Forest. Remember, Nyungwe is most pristine forest we have in Rwanda. We've seen in the last slide, it is home to chimpanzees, lots of primate species, including the colobus monkey, the vervet monkey. A lot is in Nyungwe, plus beautiful birds, of course, a number of them, of species of birds. So when you're probably on canopy walk, the walk takes about 2 hours. It's very amazing. It can be done by children, can be done by the elderly, and it is very safe. As you're hanging up on the swinging board, please, it is safe. So don't get scared that it's never safe. We've had this experience for that many years, but we've not had an incident, any negative incident. So, and it's done every day. So clans get up probably to enjoy the forest from above, and probably you see the birds from above, you see some primates from above. So it's a very lovely to have it in our itinerary, and it's not so hard. It's never strenuous. The climb is easy. Within 2 hours, you're up, and then probably be down in the next. But what I can say, it's a very lovely canopy experience that would.
How long is the walk on the canopy itself?
Probably I can say, depending, if someone wants to walk very fast, but on average, probably we can say 30, 40 minutes. Because of course you have to enjoy watching over the forest, that's the most important thing. You have to feel it.
So
you have to feel it. But the entire experience being 2 hours, it's 2 hours.
And I consider this as fireworks because you saw the gorillas at the beginning, which was a big boom. And then we're spending 2 nights at the one and only. Can you give us a little bit why one and only is so special?
Thank you so much, Cindy. I want to know me, first of all, combining the two, one and only Gorilla's Nest and one and only Nyungwe House. If I say the brand, for those that know the brand one and only, it is super high, very high brand. Why I would say it is very special. First of all, it's the location at the edge of the forest, vast expanse of the tea plantation. The views are unmatched. That's what I can say. The views are unmatched. If I take you back to the location, still from one and only to these experiences that we are talking about, very accessible. But when we look at the beauty is so, so amazing. Very amazing. There's no property we've got probably in volcanoes, I should say. We've got Singita, Isate, one and only Gorilla's Nest. Now, the three would probably, and I think we had the conversation of where would you put me if Singita and one and only. I'm telling you, I don't know, maybe if I have many nights, I would take 2 nights this side, Singita, and 2 nights one and only. But one and only is very special. It is very lovely, very beautiful. That's what I can say. It is worth a value for money. Very beautiful. The service is top notch. Top notch. Strictly, since our guests are VVIP, so this is the best place and the best results that we could combine in an itinerary, having them stay at one and only Gorilla's Nest at the volcanoes and probably staying at one and only Nyungwe House in Nyungwe.
Yeah, so here in this itinerary, we stand at the one and only house, and this is a way of ending the itinerary in a very special, amazing way. That was the goal, starting out slowly, you're enjoying the views, and of course, to be able to see the gorillas is absolutely amazing. But we wanted to still make you feel special and make you feel like a VIP. So we end the itinerary at one and only. A
Maybe
great.
one thing I can say,
Mhm.
for this itinerary, if you can remind me if we had the last farewell dinner at
One and only.
a one and only, probably we could have it other than the restaurant, and then we could have it at the tea plantation.
Yes, we
That
talked
could
about
be
it.
another.
Mhm.
Yes, we could. That's a farewell dinner at the tea plantation.
Mhm.
We've always had this for our guests, and the feedback is it's an outdoor dinner in the tea plantation. It is a very special one. So I want to assure whoever would be looking at this and think we could confirm the dinner at special dinner being our last dinner for everyone in Rwanda could have it at the tea plantation.
Yeah,
It's a
that's our
lovely.
goal to have, definitely have it at the um tea plantation. And our
Sure.
goal is definitely to make this, like we say, we want this the most amazing experience that you're gonna have. I'm telling you, no matter where you're going during the year, um, I want to say you're not going to be able to top the Rwanda experience because this is
Right.
only handcraft of making sure you have the most amazing experience, and we want you to feel like VIP.
Right. I see some questions
Yes.
here.
So you cover the visa that you can get upon arrival. And how much was the visa again for everyone?
you talk about
Yeah, I think I think
yeah,
your sound is you'll be losing your
$50.
$50. And the vaccination, I need to correct this.
That's the
Yellow
figure
fever is
for the
yeah. So yellow fever is not mandatory, as I
yeah,
just
$50.
okay, $50, yes. $50 for the visa. And should they have cash?
Yeah,
Or they
it's
use credit card for that?
mandatory. Yes, non-mandatory. Yeah.
I think we're losing and we're
Credit card. Credit card is fine.
okay, credit card
Credit
is fine
card
to use.
is
Okay.
fine.
And for
Um, for the vaccination, we looked at teeth.
we looked at vaccination.
I don't, yeah. Credit card is fine to use for your visa payment.
Is there any credit cards that they can't use?
Then about credit cards accepted. Now,
How about American Express?
mm,
I know in some countries American
the
Express.
visas, the visa type, hmm, yeah, American Express is very few would you probably find accepting American Express.
Okay.
I agree with you. Even here, American Express. Um, but look, first of all, we're gonna have guests staying at high-end properties. I know one and only must be taking
But to be safe, definitely bring a backup if you're American Express.
all
Yeah, I think your
cards,
connection is
must be
going
taking
out.
all cards. Probably for for local purchases, like yes, a Visa credit card is accepted. I don't know what is happening, but I think okay. Can you hear me very well now?
I can hear you better now. Yes,
I
before,
can
yeah.
hear you.
Now you're going out again.
I can hear you very well. Anyway,
Oh, cool.
can I proceed on
Yes, yes.
okay, you said do we need to exchange money? Yes, to make some local purchases, especially up country, when you really want to make some local purchases, like when you visit Ibiwachu, the local community village experience, and you see something very attractive and you want to buy it. Probably when we're in Kigali, when we return and we have time permitting, we could check out some local markets, probably to buy something, as a souvenir. Of course, yes, cash is very important.
And I know in some countries, I know in Tanzania that they do not accept older American dollars. Your dollars have to be pretty new and crisp. Is that the same case in Rwanda?
Yes, would appreciate probably, first of all, denominations, higher denominations of 50, $100, 100 bills, 2017 and above would be very, very ideal, when it comes to the year of currency. Yep, that's what I can say probably on when it comes to the dollars.
And then we'll give you guys more information at least 3 months before traveling. We are going to give a brief about trekking and what type of clothing that you need to wear. So you will be brief, definitely in advance and on the money. And our meals included.
All meals are included.
All
All meals are included. We'll send probably for those taking the bookings, we'll send you first of all, you have the inclusions in the itinerary, but there is a lot. Remember, we're staying at high-end properties. There's a lot that is included within staying at one and only Gorilla's Nest, one and only Nyungwe House. There's a lot. So all meals are included.
I do have a
All meals
question.
are.
There's some people with dietary restrictions. So people who are vegan, who don't eat any animal product, would that be a challenge for them? Mealtime.
Not at all. Not at all. Because usually, like I told you, there's we pay attention to detail. And when it comes to detail, we look at special dietary restrictions to the guests. Those that are probably vegetarian will have all their special dietary requirements and will push them to these lodges and they'll prepare for them exactly what they want to have. So nobody should get worried about not meeting his or her special dietary requirements.
And at checkout, one of the questions
Yes.
are asked about dietary restrictions. So you could let us know ahead of time. Definitely when you're booking this trip, you can let us know. There's a comment section for that. And this information would definitely be shared amongst, all the accommodations. And this is a fun, and we already covered that you will need cash, and definitely tipping is highly, highly recommended. Like I say, the quality of care that's going to be given to you, definitely you're going to feel inclined to tip, and greatly these things are appreciated down to the porters and the rangers and people like that who's going to be taking care of you and guiding you through the forest. This is a fun question. Can I touch the animals? And you see my answer is there already.
First of all, when you meet the mountain gorillas, you stay away 7 meters. But they can't come to you. You've seen videos online, probably approaching guests as close as 1 meter. Even sometimes they rub, they go around your pants. During the briefing, probably you'll be taken through all these where you keep, you keep you keep still, there's a lot of regulations observing the mountain gorillas. Remember, they are also, very prone to human diseases. So this is why the restriction of, closer interactions. But look, as you may not go towards the mountain gorilla, they may come to you. So you've seen touching your hair, whatever, could be an opportunity for, so it may touch your hair and then it will go out. Probably the baby comes closer and the mother is also around and, but you to probably go give it a hug, absolutely no.
No. So the bottom line is they could touch you. You can't touch them. So that's typical. So they could knock you over or whatever they want to do, grab your hair, but you better not touch them. So,
You don't have to be tempted to touch it. It may touch you. We've seen so many guests touching their pants, touching their hair. something like that, falling on you from up, the babies are playing. That's how they, the mothers are feeding. A lot happens in the jungle there. So probably when you meet the family, but it's a no, you don't touch the mountain gorilla.
And another thing that I forgot to emphasize, guys, this is nature. And any element, you could come upon, whether is a reptile sort or anything. This is nature. It could rain, definitely we can't control any natural thing that happens in nature. So I do want you to keep that in mind, that you don't know what you might encounter in nature. This is one of the places that a human cannot control totally, is nature.
For sure.
And the last question, well, I have a couple questions that I forgot to um include, and I know this is huge on people's list, about Wi-Fi. Would they even be able to make calls back home? And also, would there be Wi-Fi in the different accommodations? But who need Wi-Fi when you're in the middle
Yes.
of the forest?
Yes. From arrival, you got Wi-Fi at the airport. In a safari car, all our guides, all our vehicles have got Wi-Fi. So the moment you jump in a car, you're given the password for Wi-Fi. So you could see from the Jeep where you've got Wi-Fi, jumping into your hotel, you got Wi-Fi. Tomorrow morning, you're leaving, you have Wi-Fi in the morning. Probably you're jumping in a Jeep again, you're going to go have Wi-Fi. Probably when you're meeting the mountain gorillas, you just don't have to have Wi-Fi, So, but when you come back, meet your driver guide, of course you'll connect. So 80% of you being, and for those that have, probably they are coming to visit and they have, you're working remotely, probably in the evening, you need to have some reports submitted or something like that. Sure, you can make it. You can have it. You'll have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is across.
So I know that probably should have been number one question about Wi-Fi. And another question that I think that probably it went out of my head. It was another question that I was going to ask. But guys, like I say, if you have any questions, definitely email info@potterpuffTravels.com. I will get these questions over if I'm not able to answer them right away. And another thing that I strongly want to emphasize, definitely make sure you get travel insurance, because you never know at the last minute you might come with COVID. And of course, these animals, we want to protect them. And definitely we don't want you sick. So make sure you get travel insurance, because like I said, no one could control nature and no one could control the future. So definitely you want to protect your investment by getting travel insurance. So I want to say that over and over, anytime you fly internationally, we can't even control flights because people are having problems right now with the airlines. So protect your investment, get travel insurance. And the very last question is, can
Yeah.
you bring home a baby golden monkey? And that's a funny question.
A big no. A big no. Yes, you cannot. You cannot.
You
Impossible. You just
there's
have, the principles of conservation. You take nothing but photographs.
nothing but the
Got it?
photograph
Leave nothing but footprints.
footprints.
You see? Yeah. You leave nothing but footprints because you're not going to litter in the jungle. No. but all you have to leave is the footprints. And you're gonna take
Footprint,
nothing, not even a baby golden monkey, but the photographs.
just
And you
photographs.
carry memory, yeah, carry memory home.
And carry memories. That's the only thing you're carrying. And also, again, during our 3 months preparation and packing list, we will let you know how much luggage you could carry. Definitely, you don't want to bring your whole home because we will be in safari jeeps. So there will also be definitely a limitation on how much you want to bring. And we definitely would go over that 3 months beforehand. And also, whether or not you need to bring a jacket and how to dress. We would definitely prepare you, more than prepare you for this experience because we want this to be absolute amazing. Only thing you have to worry about is booking your flight. Once you land, it's all about taking care of you and making you feel special. So we want you to keep that in mind. And to end this, for the Gorilla special or the Rwanda special, I must say, we're taking $200 off. So at the end of booking, definitely make sure you use the promo code Africa at checkout to save $200 off on this amazing experience. I'm telling you, do not wait too long.
That's,
We will be closing this amazing experience by the end of February, probably, because we have to secure these permits
it.
and we want to
Oh,
secure one and only also. So definitely the deposit is a little bit higher than the other experiences because we're trying to lock in this experience and make it amazing for you. Thank you so
that's
much.
good.
Thank
Thank you too for the viewers. Thank you to Cindy for putting this presentation through. We want to commit again to everyone that is looking forward to book very soon that a seamless service awaits from your point of reception or uh, arrival in Rwanda until you leave Rwanda. Everything will be 100% on point and everything will be VVIP. As I remind you, every client is a platinum member with us. So you'll have such a memorable and lovely experience given the opportunity to take you around Rwanda this year, 2024. I thank you.
thank you. And we're gonna end for now and say goodbye. And we hopefully we'll
Bye.
to see you. Goodbye.
Bye.